Okay, this is a quick tour of the 1986 hull, I believe it is, Gregor, that I have up for sale. Beautiful little boat. Unfortunately, I've used it only a couple of times, and Homeowners Association doesn't want it out in front of the house, so I am reluctantly selling it. So this is just a little mini tour. So it's got a galvanized trailer. It's a 19.5 feet long. It's got a Mercury 50 horsepower on the back that's in pretty good shape. I've taken it out. It starts up on a single crank, and this thing flies. I've clocked it at 40 miles an hour with a single person in it, and over about 28 to 30 with 3 people in it, fully loaded. So nice little motor. I'm also throwing in the 6 horsepower Tohatsu. I'm the original owner of this motor, and it's been serviced, so that's also in good shape. The gas tank on this does need to, I think, have a gasket replaced, the portable gas tank, so that's something that will have to be done. So as you can see, I've added outrigger lights for this to help get the boat onto the trailer when you're out in the water. And I'm also put, I believe they're polyethylene trailer skids on this, so that the hull is not in contact with the trailer and won't get any pitting in salt water. This boat has been used in fresh water for most of its life, but I did take it out in salt twice. That's before I started to renovate the boat, and unfortunately now I need to get rid of it. So let's just take you, well, if you can see the hull, I don't know how well you can see it. I have acid washed the hull. There isn't really any pitting on the hull. It's in really good condition. So I just did that as a precautionary measure to prevent any further deterioration of the hull, if there is any. On the inside, you can see I've totally done the inside decks, redone them rather, and they're made out of basically marine grade MDO, which is marine grade plywood with a resin impregnated top, and then I've also epoxy coated all these on the edges and on the surfaces, so there shouldn't be any problem with rot whatsoever in any of these. So going into the boat here, this is the rear view of the boat. You can see that all these hatches basically open up. They have storage on the inside. Same thing over here. They're also lockable hatches. I've got some junky stuff on the inside right now. The rear compartment is where the battery will be stored, along with other electrical. Now you can see that it's a brand new battery, and I have the electrical disconnected right now. This electrical connection I have redone. It's brand new wiring going down through the bilge of the hull to the center console, which I'll show you in just a little bit. This is the rear of the engine. You got your fuel bilge pump, not bilge pump, but fuel pump over there. Got some other miscellaneous junk over there. So coming around this side, you can see the bottom here. I've kept an access hatch there that probably needs to have some kind of a hole drilled in it so you can actually get it out of there easy. I usually just stick a screwdriver in there to lift it if I wanted to get it out. This is the center console over here. You can see it's got your standard gauges, got a steering wheel. The light mechanism hasn't been hooked up, but there is a light up front. If you wanted to, you could hook that up pretty easy. And of course, it's got it's an auto electric start. It's got the gear shift over here, and all that is running down through the hull. And like I said, that is a work in progress. I have a lot of stuff that will come with this boat that hasn't been installed as yet, but you know, it's probably a weekend or a 2-weekend project. So and it's ready to go as is. So here's the gas tanks on this are basically, it's a dual gas tank. They're both metal. One is on this side, and I believe, man, I don't know what the size of those gas tanks are, but I think they're 5-gallon, 10-gallon. I'm not sure. Same thing on this side. So I got a piece of wood in there too. And we have our center console over here. Opens up for storage. You can see I got a bilge pump in there that I haven't installed quite as yet. I have a hole cut in the side, and I have the piece of metal that goes with that if you want to put that back in there. But this is basically for an electrical panel that will be included with the boat. So if you want to hook up power to bilge and whatever else you want to do, that will be available for that. There's a fish finder that comes with the boat that is operational. And then just some little storage compartments over here. Coming out to the front of the boat, this is another access hatch we have to underneath the hull area. And there's not a whole lot of storage in there, but there's enough to basically put like inject some foam in there, which I would have done if I had kept this, just for a little bit of extra flotation. Or alternatively, I mean, if you go fishing, you can stick some fish in there. There's enough room for that. This is the front seat. It's also got, you can open this up here, and it's got some junky foam at the bottom and a little bit of water, which I don't know how old that is, but I'll throw that in. This is the casting deck out front. So there is quite a bit of storage room at the bottom of the casting deck over here. So you can see I got two gas tanks that are empty right now in there. I got a fishing net, got miscellaneous crap. So if you're going to take this out to Catalina, or you've got some long trips that you're taking, this is a really good storage space for that. The casting deck is really great. You can see, I don't want to show you my neighborhood, but you can see it stands you up quite high above the water. So if any of you are like, you know, bass fishermen, it's a good place to stand and cast from, provided you don't have waves that are going to knock you off. And that is about it for the quick tour. If you have any questions, hit me up.